Has technology helped connect people or isolate them? Technology has affected our society as a whole, both positively and negatively. When technology first arose, it was very simple and used only for communication. As it emerged, it became more complex and more time-consuming for the people. Technology has helped connect people, and it also has isolated people from their daily lives. Technology has helped connect people by allowing them to communicate whether they are near or far. Although technology has allowed people to communicate near and far, it has isolated people but also helped people. Because technology has allowed people to communicate when they're far, it's allowed for friends and relatives to stay close and connected with each other, and also long distance relationships have positively been affected by technology because it allows for the two in the relationship to communicate even though they're a long distance. They can connect time by webcamming, texting, phone calls. Technology and communication has isolated people because when people are near each other and in the same room, they will still use the technology to communicate with one another. And that's allowed for less face-to-face communication, which can affect one's social standing and their mental standing. Because if a person doesn't have face-to-face communication and only uses technology to communicate with people, it's not good, because when they have to go face-to-face, they won't be able to communicate properly or use the proper tools and words and things that they need to be able to communicate with another person. Technology was a tool that was created to help people learn faster and better. It's helped improve learning for some, but it's also made learning a challenge for some people, because when the technology aspect comes into play, some people tend to become lazy and dependent on the technology for them to do their work for them, whereas some people allow the technology to enhance their learning and allow it to move forward and help them expand their mind. Another important aspect that technology has improved on is businesses. It's made it easier for businesses to be able to help promote themselves and gain more customers and expand their businesses onto other databases and platforms. It's allowed for businesses to be able to keep records on file instead of on a paper. It's allowed for businesses to keep track of their financial information more easily and more efficiently. But technology has also impacted businesses negatively, because when the technology that the business is using crashes, it slows down the business's process. And when the process is slowed down, it makes it so the business runs slow. And when the business runs slow, many customers aren't satisfied, so it tends that they end up leaving the business. Another aspect where technology has helped improve is in education. Technology has helped education because students are able to learn visually, and visual learning has helped many students because they're able to see and grasp the subject that they're learning. But it's also negatively impact learning for some, because they become, as I've said, dependent on the technology doing the work for them. It's important to remember that technology connects and isolates people, but it's allowed for many other countries to go through industrial innovations. Um, According to Frontiers of Economics in China by Hong Xingting, technology entrepreneurships are a new thing in China that have allowed for new industries, new technologies, and new talents of industrialized innovations. The article stated that the new innovations have been effective in many of China's business models. And because of this, China is now growing and expanding their technology. According to Timothy Golden in Journal of Applied Psychology, teleworking literature is discussed, and it discusses how people who are teleworkers lack face-to-face communication because they're doing their work over the phone than rather to face-to-face with one of their customers. That article states that it's not that the teleworkers are going through professional isolation because, as I've said, there's no face-to-face communication. The two sources that I have stated so far display both the connection and isolation that technology has brought along to our society today. According to International Journal of Human Computer Studies by Sharpless Sarah, there have been studies done that show that tailored text messaging has been applied to a connection making. Tailored text messaging is an app that was created in order to make connection more easier while using technology. As I've discussed, technology can connect and isolate people. If technology is used poorly and not in the proper way, it can isolate people in many ways. When isolation occurs because of technology, people tend to stay inside on their house all day, on their devices, 24/7. They don't get a break from technology. They basically become a computer themselves. If technology is used properly, in the proper way, it does not have the power to isolate people. I personally can say that I am one of those people who have been isolated by technology because I sit on my phone 24/7. I feel like if I'm not on my phone, then I'm missing out. And that's not good because, as I said, technology isolation can take over somebody's whole life. It can ruin relationships. It can ruin academics. It can ruin, like, everything. Technology can cause a person to literally isolate themselves from the outside world to the point where they only sit inside their rooms all day. I personally believe that technology has the power to connect and isolate people, but there's been so many studies and so many different researches done that everybody has a different feeling and a different opinion and view on whether technology has connected or isolated people. Thank you.